Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Figure Friday and we have a figure here today. We actually have the Cobra Night Attack Stinger with driver. I was very happy to be able to order this. I ran into some issues. I was afraid I was not going to be able to get this. I thought there was some issues in the background here I just can't get into, but the good news is I was able to get her. So here we are. Wonderful feeling to be able to open this up and actually get this out here today. So this is actually the second actual G.I. Joe vehicle I've got. The first one is the Trouble Bubble from Python Patrol, which I had found in the store. This one I ordered off of Amazon. So here we are. So, we've already done a G.I. Joe episode as far as what the Stinger and then the, my goodness, my mind is running a blank here this morning. The Vamp, and the Vamp Mark II and all that. So we've already kind of covered all that. So here we get to actually go over the actual driver and the vehicle, and we actually get to see it in the 6-inch action figure line. So let's see what we have here. Now, one of the things I've noticed, and I wasn't intending to do this, but I did notice this. So if my small mind can do this, I'm sure that everyone else that's much brighter than I am will notice this as well. I've been trying to figure out exactly how I can maybe get my hands on some of the other Joe vehicles, but the drivers, so this is the just generic Cobra driver, they're all in a gray. So this would be like the Cobra Driver Corp. So and I am stuck in here somewhere. There. Okay, just fold it up, and in the background here, so let's see what we all have here. This is beautiful to see. I'll get the figure out of here. We'll get all the parts out, and then we'll cover all this as we go along. Okay, we do have our 120 box, so that's all the parts and everything there. Here's our missile launcher. That's really slick, kind of neat to see. We'll see how that all fits together here. We got our tires back here. Here's the base of the vehicle. Ooh, we got nice mirrors and everything. Oh my goodness. This is just wonderful. Okay. I feel like a little kid again. Alright. But who am I kidding? I'm always a little kid. I will never grow up entirely. Alright. Oh, this is a nice background. I hope I don't mess this up. We got some tape holding some of this stuff out. This would make a great backdrop for a Cobra garage. So I'm hoping I don't mess up the view here. Okay, that's how it is. I thought we were taped in. I'm right, we are taped in, but this kind of sneaks around here. So as we go through, my knife is not the sharpest knife in the world because I don't do a lot of actual cutting with it. Usually this is about the extent, cutting the tape or opening an envelope. So it's actually doing pretty good. Okay, here we are. Now we can get this out, because I don't want to really ruin this. I got some shelves over the weekend because we had to kind of clean up our basement. So that's why I didn't get stuff up on Sunday. So unfortunately I had to get other things done. So we're going to kind of do this. So I'm going to put this forward so you can see we have a nice mural here that, if we wanted to, I think what I'll try and do is I'll try and save this so I can have this in the back for the garage. And then we can try and get some paper or something in the front. Probably a black floor of some sort, and we'll kind of go from there. Alright, so we do have some nice tires. Now I've seen some people when they're putting this on, they're trying to make sure the tires are all facing the same way, although I think that the way that they have this design, more so for the oh my goodness, my mind is, for our four-wheeler, I think they were concerned that the tires might be flipped or whatever, trying to make sure all the tread goes the same way. So this, the way it's all set up, I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Everything looks like it's, no matter which way you were to try and put it on, it's all going to look the same, although, I mean, you know, so we have that there. So that looks really nice. Some nice kind of utilitarian hubcaps here. Looks really good. Let's see, we have some pieces in here. So let's try and get this all opened up and see what we have. That's our missiles. Okay. These are some nice big missiles here. You know, and they're done up the same way that they originally were done as far as connectors. So that works really nice. XO4 missiles. So, alright. Set that off to the side here real quick. Alright, and this must be our cover. Must be our top and doors, maybe? Nope, the doors are on there, so this must be the top. Top and hood? Top and... no, the hood's on there. Oh, come on, Pete. Alright, what do we got? Okay. Just kind of like putting metal Legos together. Alright, so this is our top. So we got a top, so that's kind of nice. Set this over here. This does go on the hood. This would be, I'm taking a stab in the dark because I'm not the most mechanically inclined. This is probably our air intake or so. You know, because we got this kind of a grill here, so I'm going to guess that might be like air. You know, because the engine is set back a little bit more. That's the way things are. And of course we have our Cobra driver's personal weapons, his helmet. We have magazines that come out. Oh my. And the pistol. Now I'm just going to point this out. Does this not look like Han Solo's DL-44? That looks very darn close to it. I think we got a winner here. Very nice gun. I know that the DL-44 was based off of an actual gun. And I forget what the actual gun was, but I do know it was based off of an actual gun. So, and of course, then we have our E-tool. So it's all out. This should be able to, you know, that would be really cool if they actually had it so it could fold up and fold that back. That would be cool. I'm very fond of an E-tool because, I mean, I used it when I was in the Army. I still have a couple today because it works really well. Just trying to fill up pails or whatever. You know, because you can leave this out and you can pivot this to go straight, and you can just kind of boom right on in, so it's not just on one hand or one arm that gets tired. You can kind of share the load between both arms, and you can really kind of dig in there for making a hasty fighting position or whatever. So very cool. And then this is a front guard that goes over in the front, so we do see it right in here. So we have all that. Okay, so let's get our driver out here, because, you know, we got to get our driver. Now, I don't have stats for the driver or the driver core. This is just going to be a generic trooper. It's just that they're going to specialize more in the driver sector and a little less in maybe some of the other combat. But I will say this, if we want to look at the driver as a driver core, I would say that not only are they going to know vehicle tactics just for this, but they're also going to have like vehicle weaponry. So if we were to, and again, because we're doing this, or I've been doing this as a G.I. Joe Star Wars Galaxy kind of combination here for our D6. If we were going to use these, I would make sure that they have vehicle weapon skills, so that way they could be either a gunner, a driver, or even a commander. But more likely, I think your commander is going to be some other regular leader personnel or whatever. Not saying that they couldn't fall into that category. Maybe we have someone that's got a different look. I don't know what I know for the ferrets. That's what I was trying to get before. We have some female characters. I'd love to get some of the ferrets. I'd like to get 2 of them if I could to kind of flank them. I don't know how they have the mask, so if it's done in red, I would say the red. I always believed that the red was the essentially like their commander. You know, they're kind of denoting that that's an actual officer or something in comparison. As we go crinkles here. They do have them in there pretty good. The hands are actually inside the plastic, so that makes it a little difficult trying to get them out, but okay. Now he's got the webbing on here, but the webbing is separate here, so I don't know. You know, we kind of do this. He's got the joint here, and I want to point that out. He can do somewhat of the crunches, but his webbing does get a little bit in the way. All right. And of course we're going to have our standard ankle here, I believe. Yes, we do. So we can, if you want to have them out and posing along something or whatever, we could easily do that. And I'm not going to be the best at posing them. He does have the double knee, so we could try and get them. You know, this is a beautiful thing here because, you know, we can pose them up. And seeing that I don't have a gun out at the moment. Okay, his head twist's pretty good. I have his knife in his hand, just for the fun of it, for the moment, as we're trying to. Boy, his knife does not want to. The knife is rubbery on the top. It is more solid for the handle. Trying to get it in here, it's just that his hand, you know, it's kind of stiff because we really have not gotten any weapons in there. Trying to get him to want to stand here. Why don't I do this? I'm just gonna bring that down, and then twist it here maybe? Nope. I'll twist the ankle. There we are. Maybe that helps. Trying to have fun here, trying to get him posted up so it looks like he's kind of waiting, but just trying to get everything so he wants to sit. There we go. Okay, so there we are. We got him. You know, he's got all the nice joints here. I mean, these are basic figures. They gave him all the good joints. His arm will twist here. He's got a nice little arm kind of cover here on the one side. His wrist, his lower arm, so right here where the glove sits, that twists around pretty good. He does have the double joint here, so hopefully you can see he's got the double joint. So if we have to bring this back, like if he's trying to throw a grenade, we can bring that back a little bit more. So it is nicely done. And the webbing gear is good. It's not overly bulky. He's got pouches that are open, so we can put magazines or weapons or whatever in there. We will take a look at that here in a minute. Actually, seeing that we're talking about it, let's get those out. Sit, stay, good. All right. Okay, so we have a fire extinguisher for our vehicle, always appropriate. One of the things that's actually been noted for Cobra, and it was actually done early on in the cartoon. You know, we meet Shipwreck, and then we have Shipwreck and Snake Eyes, and they're running around, and they get a brochure for Cobra, and they're like, they got a swimming pool, they have health insurance and everything else, and yes, you know, even way back in the silly 80s, we had all that stuff being listed. So a lot of that stuff was really kind of just brought out to say, you know, Cobra actually seems like it's got standard like insurance packages and everything else that you would find in corporate America for their personnel. So, okay, so this one being a smaller weapon here. Actually, oh, okay, so the magazine on this one will go on the side. So that looks to me, and I'm just going to throw this out here. Oops, I think I got it on the wrong side. That's the bottom. Okay. Oh, like an old German, like World War II German kind of setup. That's what it looks like. Although, you know, the Americans had done that, I think, with the grease gun. I want to say, I think that kind of gone on the side. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't deal with a lot of weapons anymore. And of course, this is an AK-47. So it's got the nice banana clip. And if they're both using the same magazine style, I'm sure that they're both the same caliber. So that works. And this, you know, there is a notch here, so it should be able to go through here. And it does. And I can fit it in there with the magazine, and we can put that onto his back. I don't know how well that would sit when he's inside the vehicle, so I will probably not have that on him when he's in the vehicle. But we will see how this goes. I'm kind of moving him a little bit. And he does have a nice helmet. So this gentleman, I don't know what color the female drivers are, but this gentleman's got some nice chocolate skin coloring to him around the eyes. Perfectly fine. I have no problems with that. He looks like a very nice character. Alright. Put all of his weapons where they belong. Okay. Let's get him standing back up here. Stop twisting them around. Okay, because we have other stuff here. So this is our pistol here. We do have a holster on his belt. Now it is kind of the way it's kind of put in here. I'm going to take this off so hopefully you guys can see. It's kind of bent in at the moment. I think it's meant a little bit of that so that way it can hold this. Maybe I'm wrong. But I will say, trying to get the pistol in here initially, it's making a little on the fun side. Okay. Now we do have a spot for a magazine on his back. And I have this spot here, but I don't know what goes there yet. Now maybe there's something here that we haven't opened up. We still have a box here. So, it's possible there's something there that we haven't opened up. So there's the magazine sitting in there. I don't know if it's in there all the way that it should be, or if maybe there's something else that should be in there and I'm just not finding the right stuff or thinking about this correctly. So, you know, here we are. All right. I'm sure he's going to find some characters that, some female action figures that think that he looks good in a uniform. He is a very nice looking figure, I will say that. Not a problem. Now we do have the 120 box, so let's get this opened up and see what we all have in here. Oh, we have all the fire effect things for all the missiles, and it looks like possibly a bumper. So, keeping with traditional fashion, you know, we're going to be able to have two people just hanging off on the bumper in the back here. So that's pretty slick. And then we have all the fire effect stuff here. So let's try and see if I can't get this popped open here. I may have to pause this because I have to start waking up my family. We have places to go today as well. But try and get this opened up here first. Now these do get to be a little bit on the heavier side at times. So, but they're fun to have out here. And the nice thing is, you know, if you're collecting the Transformers and that, they're throwing some of this stuff in with some of the Transformers for some other degrees. So, you know, it's possible to find some of this stuff from the Transformers, and it should work with the Joes. So if you have some of this stuff and you just have a big box collection, I think that would be pretty neat. Okay, so we're going to set this stuff off to the side. This is going to be good for the missiles. And looking at the box up here, and I don't know how well you guys can see it, so we do have the missiles with all the thrust coming out as though it's just about to launch off, just not quite there yet. Alright, well, let me pause this because I got to go make sure my family's getting going here, and then we'll be right back. Alright, now we've kind of gone over him and his stuff here. Let's open up our Stinger itself. So, Stinger's all wrapped in the plastic here. Stuff has a sticky side to it, and then a non-sticky, so some fairly standard stretch wrap. Okay, let's see what we all get here. This does have some nice doors that open up. Hopefully you're seeing all this. So, I guess they kind of took a cue from the old DeLorean. So we do have the doors that kind of butterfly, or seagull up, not butterfly. And we do have the mounting spot right here for our, like I said, I'm thinking this is more of an air intake or whatever. So we can change out our air filters and everything else. Now, this opens up, and we have a nice engine view. So this is really slick for the simple fact of, you know, we can always have our characters, you know, whoever it is, kind of going over and looking at the engine to make sure it's operating correctly and all that. Here's our winch. We do have that. I did see someone for some other vehicle. I think it was for the Vamp. They were talking about the actual tow hooks. These should actually be sitting down. Normally they're down. You know, we actually have that, so we can try and get all that up here. And trying to get this all up. Alright. If I undid it, I gotta get it all fixed, right? Okay. Now we do have these claws, which kind of go up and over here somewhere. Now I thought I saw instructions on this, as I have cardboard on top of cardboard. Alright. Well, I thought I saw instructions, although it's not that it's all that difficult. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where these pegs go into. I'm just trying to be sure that I'm getting this correct. So as we look down here, because this is set to be there, does this go just, doesn't look like it goes there. Oddly enough, you know, the funny thing, oh, this has got to go right on top of the bar. Because I'm looking at the box and I don't see it on, or I don't see the bar, but I see that. So that goes right on top of the bar. So it's something that you could either have on or not have on, all depending on how you want to have it. I think I will have it on. Seeing that Cobra is trying to take over the world, I think that they're willing to, in the words of a character that, you know, from one of the old movies, I think they're willing to break a couple eggs to try and have an omelet here. Okay, so trying to figure out exactly how I'm putting this on. This looks like it just sits right on top of our bumper. And one of the things I do really want to note here is they gave us our old traditional hitch here. So hopefully that means that we're going to get some vehicles that we can tow, that would be wonderful. And I know I've said it a couple times before, going through just some of the smaller vehicles and all that stuff. I really wish that that's what they would kind of concentrate on. This is a good idea. You get some of these base vehicles and you get some stuff that are smaller, because really this was a smaller vehicle to begin with. It's not the huge ones, but when we look at this, I mean, this is a fairly good sized vehicle. So if we stayed with smaller vehicles, I think that would be really good. Okay, so we can get him in here, and let's look at the interior. So as we open up the doors, and I'm going to flip them all the way open, we do see that not only do we have the gray, but we do have some red here. And then when we look inside, hopefully you guys can see this, we do have some nice coloration, all the different panel setups and all that for, I'm sure, firing the missiles. Looks like we do. Oh, and this moves too. You know what? It almost looks like this would be our throttle for our engine here, to say, you know, going forward or reverse or whatever. Or maybe it's just a gear selector. Either way, the fact that it's there is really neat. A nice digital display and everything else. This is just awesome. It really is. And this is just a peg here, so that's for holding the missiles on. So whether you wanted it on there or off, you know, that's pretty neat. Okay. So let's see how we're slapping them in here. And that's the term I used to use, especially for my oldest daughter, because I had her playing with G.I. Joes, because she had a hard time trying to get some of the other stuff in. So, alright, so the helmet sits just flush right up here, so we'll see how that works. He sits in there really nice. He really does. Like I said, the helmet is flush with just the top here. Now, we are cheating a little bit, because when we do look at this, this clips on, but it does come up a little bit. So, well, if you look back at my 1/12 scale vehicles, and we have the what was it, the Rhino side-by-side four-wheeler, you know, that did not come up a little extra for the heads, because it was just what it is. But there again, if you get some of the female characters in there, I didn't have any problems with getting people in there, because they were a little shorter. So just keeping that in mind. So we get our speed here. Alright, well, it looks like we're getting down towards needing our missile launcher. And then we're going to get our tires on here. So let's get some tires on first. Sitting on the side, we do have some nice steps here to unlatch for our engine cover. So that would suggest it should go this way, although we do have an engine cover that goes up. And then there again, now this all latches everything in. Now, something else I had mentioned in one of the videos, this would make some sense if this is a base truck unit. Why not spend less time buying or making this, and a little bit more time just coming up with something that you can slop in, bolt it down, and then now you have just a regular truck armed. So in some regards, the way that this is all done up, that's what it kind of looks like. And it probably has some wiring that goes inside, and then there we are. So our tires, once you put them on, they're on. And it does have springs in there. So you can, you can see this. Actually, they have plastic springs, but we have regular springs in there, so it does go up and down. So that makes this kind of nice. And then there we are. Okay. Now I will say they do wobble a little bit, but I think that's the whole joint. Let's see here, because I do want you to see this. The underside looks really nice too. So here we have the underside. And then this looks like it would be kind of that wishbone or whatever, but that goes here. And then this does wobble a little bit, but looking at it, it's everything here. So for me, it's not going to be too much of an issue because this is going to be pretty much a static, just piece sitting there. But if you are getting this for someone to play with at $100, it might be something to think about. This was not, unfortunately, the $20 truck I remember when I was a young lad. Okay, so we will put this on here. So something to note, after a while, if you're constantly playing with this is probably going to loosen up and it may become a problem. But putting the missiles on here, here we are. Give our stinger some teeth. There's that one. And then there's that one. Okay. So there we are. And then, like I said, we have the fire effects. So if you wanted to, you could put these in there as though they're about to launch off. And that looks really cool. So I'm going to blast those silly Joes out of the park. Okay, what I don't see, and I'm sure I'm just missing it somewhere. I'm going to take these off. We have our fire extinguisher. So we have to put our fire extinguisher somewhere, and I'm sure it's probably inside the cab somewhere. So at the moment, I'm going to pop this off so I can open this all up, and we will see exactly where I missed the fire extinguisher spot. Oh, actually, I just figured it out. Duh. Okay. Silly me. So we do have a little clip back here, and that's where the fire extinguisher would go. Clips in right there. All right. Just me not paying attention to details here. And there we are. Fire extinguisher is there. Put that back on here. Now, one thing I do want to note, that does look like it's got some extra lights on there, so if you're running around searching for someone, that would work. But this is a very cool looking machine. And as the eternal child, and I think some of you out there are probably somewhat of the same way, it is very cool, and out of these, this is the first one I got. So there's no stickers. As you saw, there are no stickers, and this is probably all the instructions. So this is what it is. There are no stickers to have to worry about putting on. We just get to snap the tires on, put our roof on. We have our missile system, our little brush guard here, and our rear bumper platform, and then we're good to go. So we can actually get four figures on here. I've only got the one in there at the moment, but we are capable. Although I'm hoping that if we're shooting at people, we do not have anyone sitting back here. I don't think this would feel too good in the face. So with that, thank you so very much for joining me. This is just awesome to be able to see. Just wonderful. I don't know exactly how I'm going to put this down. I think this would work out maybe like this. You know, he's burning rubber here. This would be an explosion of some sort. And same thing with these. These aren't going to connect to the missiles. So if you want to see that there's, you know, explosions going around, as well as him driving, and he's whooshing up some air as he some steamy air here as he's driving off. That's really cool. So with that, thanks for visiting. Thanks for being here around the pool table. It's always wonderful having you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.